So I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I noticed that the show Coco Melon. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it or not, but I had never. I was like, first of all, what even is this? The baby looked kind of creepy, but so they're in this one episode, they're washing a car, and there's no adults. It's like two kids and a baby washing a car, no adults near, and it got me thinking, why is that a thing in kid shows? You know what I mean? Just look back at all the kids shows. For me, it's from the '90s, but just all the ones from back in the day. They just they're just irresponsible adults or non-existent adults. The Fairly Odd Parents. We see them later, but they're boobs, of course. But in the beginning of the series, we don't see them at all, and he just gets left with Vicky, the babysitter, which is always terrible. The Rugrats, the parents are gone working all the time, and then they leave him with the grandpa, who always ends up sleeping, and then they get into their mischief and whatever else they're gonna do. Rocket Power, even though I think there's a little more adult presence in that one, a little, but they're these four kids that go out and surf and skate and everything like that by themselves all the time. And I don't care how good you are, I wouldn't leave my kids to do that. And what is it about as a society that we've just accepted that? And like I said, I'm not going to get too whatever, but I mean, because they are kid shows that I'm referring to, but I mean, at the same time, what, you see it in adult shows, or I mean, not adult shows, live action kid shows all the time. Look at all the ones from, and I'm specifically speaking of the '90s because I think this is kind of where it happened, where the kids were the adults and all that. But the parents were always boobs, and in the live action shows, these kids would go off to these camps or whatever, and basically just run amok and do whatever they wanted to. And the counselors were there, but they weren't anything of any seriousness. There's this underlying theme of adults are idiots, and we have to be the kids are the greatest. Like I don't know, but it's just even as a kid, I kind of remember when I was a child, kind of like, why are there never adults here? The wild thornberry is another good example. They're 9 times out of 10 in like an African safari somewhere with lions and tigers and bears, oh my, and Eliza Thornberry is by herself with her talking monkey friend with no parents to be involved because they're out taking pictures and stuff, and their boobs. It's a common thing, and then now sometimes I will say this though, you have Hey Arnold, who he never has parents to begin with, and yes, he lives with his grandparents, but the parent, that is kind of one of the exceptions that I remember, because even though there aren't direct parents there are, it does show the effect of that and kind of like the life on the street, because presumably they're in New York, and they're living in the back alley slums and apartments and whatnot, and it is a kind of rough and tumble place. But I just got to thinking about that when I watched when I saw that Coco Melon clip, and it's just like, why did we put up with that for so long? I mean, was it just, I don't know. I mean, it made for great TV, but when you really dive in and you're like, why is this a thing? But I don't know. That's just my personal thought on it, I guess. Maybe you guys didn't even think of it, but I definitely did at the time, and especially looking back. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Take it easy.